everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a David Bowie transformation. I picked Aladdin Sane, one of his very many fictional characters, and I was just really inspired by it. So first, I'm priming my face, making sure it's nice and moisturized because I am going to use face paint. And then I'm going to hide my eyebrows. This was my first time doing this technique, but it's a drag technique that the drag queens use to get rid of the eyebrows. So you use a glue stick and then you mat it out with a translucent powder or a face powder. You're recommended to do this process a few times so that it really hides the hair, but I was kind of scared to mess up my hair or like have it rip out of my face, so I just did it once. So what you do is really get the glue in there and then brush it out, make the hairs flat, and then you mat it out with the powder. Fairly simple. It's kind of sticky, but it worked out. And then I'm covering up my eyebrows with an orange eyeshadow. This is going to help to hide the darkness under the paint that I put down. This is the same as you would do with dark spots on your face or your under eyes. If you want to spot correct and get rid of darkness, you would use an orange color to hide that and then go with your regular color over it. Oh, it looked cute. And then with a white paint and a sponge, I'm covering my whole face. The reason I'm doing this is because his skin was a lot lighter, his whole complexion was a lot lighter than mine in this photo, and I really wanted to hit the nail on the head when it came to recreating the photo. So I'm opting out for white paint instead of foundation. As you can see, I'm covering my whole face and covering my eyebrows. If I would have done the eyebrow process a few more times, it would have hid my eyebrows better. But again, you know, I was being a bitch, so I didn't do it as many times. Alright, and then just cover your whole neck. Now I am contouring for the gods. In the photo, he is using a lot more pink tones than I am, and that's because I don't really own a bright pink eyeshadow, to be honest with y'all, but I really wanted to make this work. So I opted for an orange, pinkish color. As you can see, I'm just contouring heavily in the cheekbones, the nose, the forehead. I also go in for the chin. I'm doing this fast forward, but I really took my time just to make sure I contoured and just to make sure I kept looking at my reference picture. That's the biggest thing when you want to transform into somebody or into something from a photo. You want to keep looking at the photo. That way you make sure that you're getting everything placed in the right position and just everything right. So you just contour for the gods. That's what I did most of the time. And then I'm going with the eyelids. In the photo, he has, of course, pink eyelids, and they're really well blended and mostly concentrated in the crease and in the inner crease. So what I'm doing here is just looking at my photo, blending the eyeshadow, making sure it's seamless and bright. It's really a blending game, like always. Y'all know this. I always preach about that. So here I am, just blending away, making sure I'm checking with my photo. And then for the highlight, I'm going to use a white iridescent eyeshadow, and the reason is because he is really highlighted for the gods, and I felt like this eyeshadow did the best. So what I'm doing is highlighting and then blending with this fluffy brush, because even though he had very sharp contour lines, they were also very well blended. So here, just making sure I blend everything and then highlight for the gods and blend again. As you can see here, I'm highlighting all in the high points. It's the same basic highlighting technique, but to an extreme. Just highlighting away, blending away, highlighting away, blending away. And always checking my reference photo. That's the biggest thing. Highlighting my Cupid's bow because his was very well lit. The chin, just in normal areas, but extreme, like I said before. Oh yes, girl, pack on that highlighter. Whew. I bet you he could see my highlight from his spaceship. Anyways, just blending away. And then for the iconic lightning bolt, here I used a red face paint. His is more orange, but again, I'm just using what I had to work with, and I think it worked out pretty well. So here I'm checking my reference picture religiously just to make sure I get everything right and all the lines straight and the placement, and I just kept checking that picture, making sure everything was right. So I recommend you put the lines where you want them and then fill it in. So what I was doing here was just sketching out where my lines were going to go, and once I was happy with the shape and the position, I would fill it in with the red paint. This took me a little bit just because I wanted to be really precise and have everything where it was supposed to be. Yes, put those lines. Later, I went over it with a little bit of orange eyeshadow just to kind of get the color right. It still came out a little red, but I'm not mad at it because it came out really cool. So again, just sketching everything out, making sure the placement is correct, and then filling it in with the color. I was really inspired to do this look because even though I was not really a big fan of his music, because it was a while before my time, but I was just really inspired by him and by the fact that he always did whatever he wanted. No matter how crazy it may seem to other people, he always just did him, and that was just really inspiring to me. I definitely feel like the world lost a gem and an icon, and I was just really inspired to pay tribute to him with this look. Now for the blue, I'm doing the same thing. I'm just tracing the lines and then filling it in with the blue. This is an eyeshadow that I used with my wet brush to kind of make a watercolor texture, and it really worked out. So I'm just filling everything in, darkening everything up, making sure my lines are straight. And then I'm going in with black to put in between the red and the blue. This again is a matte eyeshadow with a little bit of glitter because, you know, glitter makes everything better. And here with this black eyeshadow, I really made sure I straightened out the lines, filled everything in, darkened everything up before I moved on. Now for mascara, he definitely had mascara on. He didn't have falsies on, but he definitely had mascara on. So I coated my eyelashes. And then I noticed he had a little bit of purple eyeliner on his top lid. So I went ahead and did that. No wing or nothing, just a little bit of an accent. And then for the lips, he had really nice nude rosy lips. I really like them. So I just grabbed a nude pencil, filled my lips in, and then with a rosy kind of gloss lip balm that I had, I went over all of that just to give it that shine that he had and a little bit of the rosy sheen. So just with my finger, I'm going in with that rosy color just to fill everything up and make it nice and glittery. And this is the final look. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe.